Hey everyone, it's Drew here at Card on My Eye, and so sorry I haven't made a video you guys lately. Summer, like the beginning of the summer, has been so hectic around my house and just getting stuff for our shop and everything. It's just been like really hectic lately. But today I thought I'd show you a video on on how to use sewing on your projects. And one second, the camera's gonna twist for a second. There we go. How do you sewing on your projects, because it's probably one of my most requested videos, just because sewing is really popular in like scrapbooking right now, if you guys haven't noticed. But before I start into this video, I just wanted to let you know that on my blog, which is scrappyhappiness.com, the link is in the down bar below, I am now offering advertisements, and it's only $10, $20, or $30 for a 30-day period, and you get to put an advertisement on my blog, and it tells you like the exact size of each advertisement, and it stays up there for 30 days, and they get shuffled. They get shuffled up depending on the section. Like there's large ad spaces, then there's medium and small. So all the small ones will be shuffled up throughout the month, and same with the medium and the large. And they're really inexpensive, and it will get you guys and myself not profit, but I mean, it'll profit us both. You guys will receive clicks over to your blog, thus creating more traffic towards your blog or your website or your Etsy shop or your business or your YouTube account or whatever you want to advertise. And it also helps me keep my blog running as well, and allows for me to purchase some more scrapbooking supplies to be able to teach you guys and stuff. So, well, I guess not teach you guys. I feel like a teacher. So I guess, check out my blog below. They are now offering advertisements. It's really simple and easy. You just go on there, press buy now. I'm running it through this new advertising software that I just found out about, and you can go ahead and buy your spot, and then it's just really simple. You just upload your image, put the link to your blog, pay through PayPal or Visa card, MasterCard, whatever, and I will approve your ad, and it will go up on my blog for 30 days. So it's really simple, but now I'm going to get into the actual point of this video, which is the sewing machine. So first I wanted to go over what sewing machine I have personally. I have a Brother Embroidery and Sewing SE400 machine, and I guess it says enthusiast right here. And it has a total of 67 different stitches, and it shows all your stitches along this panel side here. And it is a touchscreen, so this is all touchscreen here. And I'm going to turn on my machine. The machine button is just right over here above my presser foot cord. So I just turn it on, and it looks like that when it turns on. And what I have when it turns on is this screen here, and I'm actually going to pull the camera up. Alrighty, you guys, so I pulled the camera up just so you could see my screen a little bit better here, and as you can see, it's a full LED screen, which I quite like, and it has all of our stitches here, so you could actually click on each stitch that you want to do. So this is a straight stitch, this is a straight stitch on the left, this is a center straight stitch, and this is a triple straight stitch, and then you just use your little arrow keys over here to go through your stitches. So I can click on these and go through my different stitches on the machine. I typically just stick with the basic zigzag stitch, which happens to be number 7 on my machine. I just stick with this zigzag stitch here, that's like my favorite, and then I also just stick with the center straight stitch, which I also use a ton. And I never put my back stitch on, because I do when I'm using fabric, but when I'm using paper, I don't put my back stitch on, just because I don't want one side of my paper to have like a triple back stitch on it, and then have all of the rest of it just be a single stitch. I just like to have a single stitch, and then I tape the excess on the back. Back stitching is just for fabric when you're not able to tape the excess on the back and keep it in place. And then I can adjust the width here. So if I click on this button here, I can go ahead and adjust how wide my stitch is going to be. Now, for me, this is not gonna, we don't have to worry about this because it's a straight stitch. There's no width, it's only length. So if I wanted to make my stitch longer, I just increase the length of the stitch. But I normally keep mine at a 3.0, that's what I normally keep my straight stitch at. And then, for example, if I wanted to do a zigzag stitch, I can adjust the width of my zigzag and the length of my zigzag, if that makes sense, because it does have a length and a width per zigzag stitch. It's not just one straight line. So, after you have your settings, we are just going to work with a basic straight stitch today at a size of 3.0, which is what I normally use. And just a couple more little tiny thingies. I'll scoot the thing over here. This little button here is going to make my needle come back up out of the paper or go back down depending on where the needle is in my paper or fabric. This button here is like my least favorite button. I hate this button. I just want to tape over it. It'll cut your thread, and I always click it. When I'm using fabric, I mean to click the back stitch, but I accidentally click the cut, and it just cuts the thread, which is really annoying. And then this button here just depends how fast you want it. So if you press your presser foot, you like floor your presser foot, and you leave it at this, it's going to go slow, but if you leave it at this, it's going to go zooming fast, which is what I typically do because I'm super speedy. So I'm going to point the camera down to the actual sewing mechanism here so you guys can see me actually sew a project. Okay guys, so I hope you guys can see this little sewing area right here. It's sort of lit up and sort of oddly colored. But basically this is what I sew with, and I have my bobbin all set, and you guys are going to have to read your sewing machine manual for bobbin setting and threading and such. I'm not going to go over that in this video just because all sewing machines are a bit different. But I'm just going to give you a little sample. I have this card, if you remember, you can't even see it, but it looks like this. It used to have this embellishment right over here. I made it for one of the Everyday Flair card series. I'll link this card in the down bar below if you want to go ahead and make one. But I want to show you how I can just add some stitching simply and easily across this card, and it just gives it a great little look. So I first start by sticking my item in the machine. And I sew, and you don't want to have like 5 pieces of paper. It's only going to sew approximately through 4 pieces of paper, maybe 5, and you guys can go higher depending on if you want to just test it out or whatever you want to do. I'm just going to do it through this section here, and I just start to sew. So I'm going to stick my needle down in the machine, and then I'm going to start sewing, and I just go like this all the way across. Super simple and easy. And then mine, I have my needle stick down in the paper. You guys can have it sticking up. It depends on what you're going to set it at. So I'm going to go across this one again. And I'm going to flip my item. Okay, and I'm going to flip it once more. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull my needle up and out. And I didn't get this side. This side looks really, really bad because I am standing up over the top of the camera. But that is the general idea of sewing on a project. And I know this looks really, really awfully bad. But as you can see, the bottom and the top are pretty straight, but I wasn't able to do the sides that well because the paper was all wonky in there. But that is how I sew on a project, and then I just stick my embellishment right back on top, and it even looks good with that wonky sewing. It just adds a little bit of an extra sort of whimsical detail on their card. So I hope that helped you guys with sewing on your projects. You can sew on basically anything. I sew through my chipboard letters. I sew through so many different things. I just love sewing on my projects. It adds such a nice little detail. So that is how to sew on a project. And don't forget to check out my sponsor spots on my blog below to get your guys some more traffic over to your blog, business, or YouTube account, or whatever you want to do. So I will catch you all next time, and thanks so much for watching. Bye, everyone.